the only thing that's real is perception. Or in other words, the only thing that's real is belief. And once you change your belief, you change what's real. And once you change your belief, you change your perception. And when you change your perception, you change your reality. So your reality is based upon your internal beliefs, which creates your perception of things around you. So you may look at a situation where a person is saying something negative, and you may look at the situation like the person is trying to bring you down or they're saying something negative, which is true to a certain extent, but that's not really what's taking place. It's a spiritual hidden meaning that's not up on the surface, because you can either think from your human perspective or you can think from a spiritual perspective. In a human perspective or thinking is limited. But when you're dealing with the spiritual aspect of things, you're dealing with something that's unlimited, that's infinite, in other words. And the spiritual aspect is seeking what is the divine or God, if you will, or the universe attempting to convey to me through that person, through this situation. Because every given situation is a spiritual situation that's actually taking place. And the more and more we take heed to the spiritual, divinely inspired message that's coming through the person, because many people that operate on a certain frequency, or many people in general, have experienced where a person say something to you and they may be speaking to your situation or to your heart or to what you're going through. They may not know that they speaking to your situation, but you may know that they speaking to your situation. But they may not know that the universe is using them to convey a divinely inspired message that's meant for you to receive. So, disregarding what's taking place up on the surface, which is the person talking, but paying more attention and taking heed to the spiritual message that's coming through. So every situation is trying to show us something spiritual and something divine taking place. But we have to mentally think with our mind, and with our spiritual mind, in other words, because you have the brain, but then you have the mind. The brain is the physical. The mind is the spiritual. It's the invisible wave of thought frequency, of thought vibrations that's being emitted. So, with that being said, your perception about certain situations doesn't mean that situation is actually taking place. It doesn't mean that it isn't. It doesn't mean that it is, because everything is left back up to perception. So everything that is isn't. Everything that isn't is. So, like, for example, if you say that, okay, a person look like a rapper that you see, that you know, and that person be like, I don't look like that rapper. Then they ask somebody else and be like, I look like him. And you be like, no. Then he ask your friend, be like, I look like him. They be like, no. And then he be like, okay, well, everybody say I don't look like him. You the only one that say I look like him. Regardless of what everybody else say, they can't tell you, or just say me, for instance, they can't tell me what I see, because it all boils down to perception. They can't tell me how you look to me, regardless of how you may look to somebody else, you know. And it also just boils back down to everybody perceive you differently from how you perceive yourself, which is why it's most important, most essential how you perceive yourself, because your vision is your vision because it's only meant for your eyes, which is why it's your vision. So the only person who know what's right for you is you. It's just like if people want dreams interpreted. Yeah, I can tell you, I can guide you, but I can't give you the answer. Like I can tell you things such as, okay, it's symbolic, it's metaphorical, it's trying to show you something regarding your beliefs. But to know exactly what it's telling you, you know that based upon you experiencing things in your reality that I have no knowledge of. So therefore, I have a limited standpoint, a limited perspective. So only you know what's right for you. So it don't matter what it means to me. It matter what it means to you. It don't matter how I see you. It matter how you see you. Because people project their insecurities onto others. So a person may say you shouldn't wear that because they wouldn't wear that. So they basing what you shouldn't do or should do based on what they wouldn't do or would do. And you shouldn't base your reality or who you are based upon other people's perception of you or society's standards of what success is. You define what success is to you. Create your own version to success. Create your own lane, your own path. Surrender to who you are and let go of the false image, the false story that they have created around you or attempted to create around you. Because no one can affect you that's outside of you. You can only affect yourself. You can only mentally create the perception that somebody can hurt you. But that's just a belief. That's just a perception. But it's not actually a reality until you manifest it as a reality within your mind. If you think about everybody's beliefs, if you think about everybody, it's all within your thoughts. All of that exists within your thoughts. Nobody is really out to get you. You're out to get yourself. There's no devil out to get you. God doesn't punish you. You punish yourself. And so we create our beliefs. This universe, like you have an up, you have a down, you have a left, you have a right, you have a back, you have a front, you have a physical and non-physical, a seen